Hello and welcome to the Nexus. It's time for the weekly show. So basically, I used to do these sort of weekly shows and then I stopped. Life just gets in the way. I'm going to start them up again because I think with a lot of information, we're getting a lot of new people into the builds as well, into partwork world, and they want to know what's going on. And I used to bring out lots of information. I still do now. So I want a bit of a show where every week we just discuss what's coming out, what I've been building, what you've been building, what everything. So if you want to contact us, you can do. You can use social media or email us. Links are all below. And yeah, we'll just go from there. We are now in peak new build and test build season. So the season normally runs from September to April. That is where you'll see the majority of new builds coming out and new tests as well, or previews, whatever you want to call them. The test builds are a great indicator of what we could expect in 12 to 18 months time. Now, in the UK, the only company that does test builds now is Hachette. But over in France, D'Agostini and Hachette, they test everything. They have a bigger scope, so they still do test builds over there. And it's a great indicator of what we can expect here in the UK, because now they don't do test builds. Companies like D'Agostini and Fanhome, Agora, they don't test build, they just release. So it's a great indicator on what we can expect maybe to come out here. So it's worth checking them out, really. And that's what we're going to be doing on this show. So, it's very, very warm. It's really warm here in the UK. And it's absolute sweltering in here. But anyway, we will crack on. Thank you for choosing to watch the Nexus. I've noticed that I've had a lot of new followers lately. So hello, welcome aboard. I am open and honest with you as I can be with everything. I do work with a lot with the partwork companies. I'm currently working with Fanhome, and I produce models and review figures and ships and anything like that. And we just have a great time here. I also do live streams as well, and I play games and just everything really. But yeah, so from now on, every Saturday I will do a roundup. That's if everything aligns and has done today. So what have we got to look forward to? Well, there's a few things that have come out. So the first one is the Ford Falcon Interceptor, which is being tested here in the UK at the moment and looks a little bit like this. You can see it's the Ford Interceptor from the from Mad Max. What's happened here is that Hachette have been unable to acquire the license for Mad Max, but have brought out the partwork. Now, it will probably change quite a bit if it does get a full release. If you want to go ahead, you can subscribe. The link is there as well. It's at the bottom of this video. If you want to go ahead to the website and have a little look, have a little nosy. If you'd like it, sign up to it. You will most likely get a free gift at the end. A lot of these partworks, when they test them, you don't get any issues when you sign up. But what they do is they sort of thank you for waiting for this sort of thing, and then what they do is they give you a free gift. It's happened with the Batman The Tumbler build, I should say, Batman Tumbler build. It happened with the Hogwarts Express. It happened with a few, even ones that haven't come out. So it's worth just giving it a little cheeky sign up if you're interested in, obviously, getting it. For me, it's no. I've watched Mad Max, and you know, I'm not a deep fan of it, but I know it's a little bit different. It's a genuine car build. You know, it has all the bells and whistles that every car build has. So it has things like the dash will light up, and the lights will light up, and I think the indicators work on this as well. But it does come with an extra feature on this one, which is a little bit unusual, which some haven't done before, which it has a mechanical engine on it, which is really quite good. So the fan belt on it and stuff like that, and the belt that does the supercharger and stuff like that. I've got an example here. So this is the magazine. So this little band here actually rotates, which is really cool. And I've never really seen that, but I love the way that they're still pushing stuff. So even on that charger, they could have done it as an engine and actually runs up. They've done it on other models as well. So it's the first time I've seen it ever on a partwork, which means they can go ahead and do it. It's got a really nice little feature like that. But it does, like I said, the dash lights up. I think the police light in the front also flashes. It's got all, like I said, all the normal bells and whistles. It's not for me. But you know, never say never. You know, if Hachette come to me and said, "Would you like to build it?" I would gracefully build it for them. But it's not one that I would put money down myself. But obviously, if you like that sort of thing, like I said, give it a subscribe, and then in about 12 months' time, it may get released. It's normally 12 to 18 months, the release windows. But we'll see how that comes. I haven't seen a lot of chatter for it, to be fair, over other builds. But it is what it is. But let us know in the comments what you think on that build. Let's take a look at some other ones that are coming out as well. So another one that's just been released over in France is the ISS Space Station. So the ISS International Space Station, that was previewed or tested in France about 12 months ago. It has now come out as a full build. If you're in France, you can go to your newsagents, you can buy it, and you can also subscribe as well. So I've reached out to D'Agostini, and I can tell you it is coming to the UK. It will be under D'Agostini Collections. So it all got rebranded, and we used to have D'Agostini and we used to have Model Space. They were the same company but done different things. Over in France, you have Ateria, which is another arm of their company, which is basically D'Agostini. And over here we have D'Agostini Collections, which does all the non-cult and TV sci-fi stuff. And the cult TV and sci-fi stuff, Fan Home bring out. This is not, it doesn't come under that category, though I know it's been in TV and I know it's been on films, but it isn't coming out on either of that. So it is coming out through D'Agostini Collections, not through Fan Home. It's a huge piece. It looks really interesting. Lots and lots of people have been asking for different types of builds, and this one definitely fits into that category. It's not a car, it's not a figurine, it's not a ship. It's a space station, and I know a lot of people were asking for like space themed stuff. Well, this is your chance to get one. It's quite modular, so I think like with normal partworks, you get quite big parts in the first 3 or 4 issues, and then you get little parts. It's 120 issues to complete, and yeah, it comes really nicely. It will come with a basic stand, but you can sign up for a premium subscription, which gives you a very nice mirrored galaxy effect stand, which also lights up. It looks really nice actually, and the free gifts look really nice as well. Shall we check them out? Let's check it all out, and we'll talk about it after the jump. So there you go. There it is, the ISS International Space Station. Once again, it's an interesting build. It's something different, and I sort of like it. But I'm not too sure yet. I may be on the fence for that. I would maybe, maybe if they came to me and said build it like with other things, I would but I know there's other things coming out, so it's not something necessarily I'd place money down on at the minute. But there's, you know, there's hundreds of things we could build and we can do. But it's definitely different, and it's something that I would definitely do. So a lot of people are saying, well, you get the solar panels. Actually, I think they're coming 2 halves, so I think it has quite a lot of them. So you're probably looking at like 10, maybe even 20 issues just on the solar panels itself. Then you've got a lot of modular compartments on that. You've also got a lot of like gibble parts that go on it. So if anyone built the Millennium Falcon, will know that it comes with a lot of little gibble parts that you put on. I think this will have those sort of things as well. Like I said, it's a bit different. It's over in France at the moment. As soon as it comes out and it's available here in the UK, I will put a link on my socials, so make sure you keep an eye on that. And obviously, I will tell you if it comes out on the videos as well. So that's that. What else have we got? Oh, we also got this long overdue part work that's coming out. Now, this is not your Chenwing part work. This is not like your modelling one. It's D&D. It's Dungeons and Dragons. It's been teased for about 12 months. It was supposed to get out. They revisited it. They've sort of tweaked it quite a bit as well. It's changed a lot since it was tested over a year ago. And that is coming out this Wednesday. And this is what it looks like. So effectively, this is for your newbies and people that have wanted to get into D&D but don't know. So this is sort of entry level stuff that you're going to be doing. I know a lot of people that are very hardcore into D&D already. A few of my friends already do it, and they are going to be picking this up just for the dice alone. In theory, a lot of it is just dice work. So I think in each issue you're going to get a lot of dice for this, probably different colours, different sizes, all that sort of stuff. It does come with figurines as well, but they're different than the ones that were previewed. So the ones that were previewed were much more sort of the Warhammer style figures. These ones are now sort of just plastic stands, which is fine. But the book is the main thing. So the books that come with, the magazines that come with, will outline everything on how to play it, how to create characters, and everything else. If you're wanting to know what D&D is, it's really worth picking up. But it'll be in the newsagents this Wednesday. I'm going to be picking up the first one because my daughter is a D&D fan, so she wants to pick it up just to have a look to see how different it is to, or what they talk about in it over the actual game, if you know what I mean. So there's D&D. Now, 2 more builds that are due out this year from Hachette are the U-boat and the Lancaster bomber. The Lancaster's been sort of like a dream build for a lot of people. And I know a lot of people are building that. I'm not building it. I'm not even building the U-boat either. But they look like this, and you can go ahead and subscribe for your interest on building these. They were due out this year. So if you're interested in building any of them, you can sign up your interest, and as soon as the website's live, you'll be emailed, so you can sign up as normal. The U-boat looks a really interesting one. So it looks like panels come off and it comes with little figures and stuff like that. So once again, it's one of those really integral battleship sort of style ones. The Lancaster's the same. It's a really huge model. This thing is big, really big. And it's a no from me or from both. I do like my military hardware. I do like military, just not enough to get it. I have to be careful on what I put money down on, and I have to think of space as well now. But you never know. You never know. It's not a definite no. But at the moment it is. I wouldn't build it, I don't think, going forward. But that's what it is. And there's a lot of other stuff due out this year I can't talk about through Fan Home still, even though they're pushing models out left, right and centre. We've also got the 007 DB5 coming out through Agora in October, and this is what that looks like. So if you want to go and get that, you can more than welcome go over to Agora's website and sign up for it. The link is at the bottom of this video. There is a lot of links at the bottom of this video. I just want to discuss quickly on the situation with partworks at the moment, because I feel that the partwork is, we have sort of, I think we've peaked in terms of partwork. Now, I don't know if anyone agrees with me, and let me know in the comments. Come on, guys, I need to know what you all think. But I personally believe that we're at peak. We're at peak. I don't know where else they could go with this, and I think companies also believe that we might have peaked as well. The only reason I say that is because they are re-releasing a lot of partworks that were done before, the T800, the Millennium Falcon, the X-Wing. There's you know, even though Fanhome have just acquired the stuff from Eagle Moss, including the DeLorean, they've effectively re-released it again, making it the third time this model's been released. But yeah, I just think now that the market is flooded. So I've been building partworks for the past 12 years, 10, 12 years. So it's a long time. In that time, I've never known the partwork industry to be like it is today. There used to be only 3 that did it, and there was no forums out, there was no real YouTube stuff out. But over the last 10 years, it is exploded. Obviously, we had the demise of Eagle Moss. I think if their finances were done a little bit better, they'd still be here today. Which means that there used to only be 3 companies. We've now got over 5, and they are pumping out partworks like never before. And I just feel that we're now at the golden era. I would say it's the golden age, the golden era of partworks. But I do feel a little bit like we may have peaked. There's only so much we can spend on these builds, and the companies know this as well. But now they are fighting for your custom. They're fighting a lot for your money now. So we are getting lots of re-releases, like I said. But I don't know whether we're getting to the end of really good partworks. You know, especially with the you know, the things like the DeLorean, the Enterprise. There's other models that they can build, obviously. Whether or not interest is always going to be there or not is another matter. But yeah, I believe there's over 20 active right now. There's over 20 active partworks going on at the moment, and as I mean active, I mean ones that have that you're currently building, or ones that you can still buy. And I believe there's over 20. Back 10 years ago, there used to be less than half of that. Normally about 7 or 8 active partworks that was people were either still building in or you could sign up for. It's completely exploded. It's not like any other model that you can buy a partwork. Is very unique, or big scale model is a very unique thing. You sign up, you get your 4 issues. It's not like they are starting to release full kits now, but it's not like a place like you would get from Airfix or something like that. These are high quality partworks. These are high quality materials in them. They're not all plastic. They are things. But you know, we were a friend of mine. We're all discussing this. They've brought out the T800. There's not really anything other than they can do from Terminator. There is Ed 209 from RoboCop. They've always done RoboCop. After that, there's no more. They could continue to do stuff through Star Wars. They've done the Millennium Falcon, R2-D2, the X-Wing. What is next? And we haven't really had anything. They did preview the Star Destroyer and the AT-AT, but both of them were well over 2 or 3 years ago, so they've probably not reached the threshold to be released. And it means that there's no new Star Wars stuff out, even though they're re-releasing stuff that we've had before. So it's really strange. Why re-release something from Star Wars when you can bring out new stuff? Might mean that they've not going to re-release any, you know, not bring out any new Star Wars stuff. It's a shame, but there's potential there to bring out, you know, like I said, the Star Destroyer, even the Death Star would be a very, even like the destroyed Death Star, even something like that in big scale would be interesting. I know it would be panels, but it would be very, very interesting to build. Then you've got obviously Boba Fett's ship, Slave One, and then you've got the Razor Crest as well, which would also be another. But it all depends on licensing and whether the company believes that there's money to be made and they can get the license for it as well. Batman as well. We've got the Batmobile coming out from the Christian Bale films. We've also got a Batman a 1/2 scale figurine coming out as well. Once again, they could do other Batmobiles. They may be bringing out another Batmobile, but I can't really say any more on that. But once again, do they go, okay, so you've got 2 out already, 3 out already to do Batman, what else do we do? They may just go, well, that's it, we're not doing any more Batman because we feel that people have already built a Batmobile. They don't need another one. And that is the sort of mentality I think a lot of the partworks are going through now, is it's trying to find what else. Now now there is ones that there's 3 models that I would throw money down instantly. Right now, I would sell my arm and liver, kidney and everything else to fund it. That would be the 2005 Dalek, which was a model that was going to come out as a partwork through Eagle Moss before they collapsed. So there's a possibility of that one. But it has to be, for me, it has to be the right Dalek. The gold 2005 one, I think it would be a no-brainer not to do that one. I know a lot of people would probably like a 60s version or a 70s version. For me, it would have to be that one. I think it's a little bit more modern, more current, so I think it would work a lot better. They could do a Cyberman, but I think a Dalek would be where I'd want to go. The other one would be Ed 209. They've done RoboCop, so I think if they did Ed 209 in the same scale as RoboCop. Once again, Ed 209 isn't really that tall. I didn't realise this, but Ed 209 is only about a foot taller than RoboCop himself. There's not much in it. So they could definitely do one in the same scale, and that would be awesome. But once again, they may not revisit it. It all comes down on how easy it was to get the license, and then the pricing of doing the parts and stuff. And that's what it comes down to a lot of this stuff as well. It's why we don't get a lot of other bits. But they are branching out. We saw them tease last year an ET build. For me, I'm not a massive ET fan, but you can tell now that they're trying to look at the cult stuff. Obviously, the other one that I would throw money at right now, and that would be Johnny 5. But as we all know that there is controversy around Short Circuit. We don't really know who owns the license as well, so that becomes a problem. And then it becomes a problem trying to find the pricing to get that and everything else. But those 3 there, so Ed 209, Johnny 5, a Dalek, I would throw money at that all day long. Let us know what you would like. I know a lot of people said that they would like Airwolf. or a helicopter. One is coming out through Agora. I can't sort of say much more. I think it may be Airwolf. If it's not an Airwolf, it may be a Huey. That would work well with the Willys Jeep. In terms of car builds, we see them do the GT. They're going to be bringing out a Golf GTI as well. I think it's the Mark 1 Golf GTI. So they are sort of starting to get modern. I think in terms of cars, I think most partworks are safe in terms of bringing out partworks in sort of a car form. I don't think they're going to run out of cars, but whether or not they run out of cult cars, sort of like this, is another matter. Now in Japan, they bring out lots of partworks we never get over here. They've had an aircraft carrier we've never had over here. They've had Tracy Island as well, which you get all the vehicles and it opens up and it does lots of bells and whistles that we've never got over here. That also says a lot as well, that we got Thunderbird 2, but we never got Tracy Island. You have to ask yourself why. But the other thing was a new Fast and Furious one, which I haven't. If I can find a picture of that, I will put it on right now. If that hasn't happened, I haven't been able to find one. But they were bringing out Paul Walker's Nissan Skyline, which actually looks more better than the Dodge Charger. It comes with a lot of lightage. You get the neon lights underneath. Once again, there's a lot of stuff, like I said, that comes out in Japan that we never get, like that. A Gunter as well. They've brought out a few Godzilla ones as well. Partworks, Mechanoid Godzilla, and another one we've never got over here. So it's really interesting. Like some of the partworks as well they've had in France, we've never really got over here as well, and in Germany. Things like the trains, the military vehicles, some of the old stuff as well, like the Fiat, the Saab, and all that sort of stuff that they've had in other countries, including buses and stuff. They didn't really work here in the UK, and it's the reason why we got Routemaster and the Eddie Stobart truck, because they won't really sell anywhere else. So it becomes a very niche. It's a very niche thing. But we've got Optimus Prime. You know, there's a potential there to do Megatron or Bumblebee. Once again, though, is there a passion for that? Is this just a one deal thing? Because I find a lot of these partworks may be just a one deal sort of thing. Things like RoboCop and maybe Optimus Prime might be one of those one deal things. I hope I'm wrong, because I would love to build more as well. I've got a lot of Transformer stuff anyway. This is another thing as well. There's a lot of Transformer models and kits out already, and it's trying to compete with that as well. But I would build a Megatron, not necessarily Bumblebee, but I'll definitely build a Megatron, that's for sure. The Star Trek ship we've got in the Enterprise D. I believe I have heard that there may be another Star Trek partwork on the horizon. I don't know what it is at this point. Could be anything. Speculate in the comments below. But like I said, there's lots of things. I've seen people say that they would like Voyager. I think things like Voyager was probably like a no-brainer for any company if they want to do that. And it, like I said, it all comes down to budget and cost and everything else. At the moment, we're seeing massive increases in costs. Gone are the days of partworks costing £7.99. When I first started doing partworks, they were only £7.99. I believe we are now pushing the £12. I do believe the issues that are coming out, the U-boat and the Lancaster, are going to be £12.99 an issue. I know that the ISS International Space Station is £12.99 an issue as well. So we are pushing further and further up, which is fine. There's normally an increase on partworks anyway, but the more money that they push up, the more we have to decide what we want to build as well. Gone are the days of cheap part works. Also as well, they're bringing out more full kits. Now I don't mind a full kit, but it's putting that sort of money down straight off. The whole point of a part work was to spread the cost, so you still get something of a museum type piece, but at a quarter of the price, because you're only putting down little, and then you get your parts. I understand as well why people want to build the whole build. Giving that option's quite good, but what happens is if the full build is the only option, it could sting some people. I know they've trialed doing bigger packs. They do at Agora, they do much bigger packs. I think the packs are like £120. You do get a lot of issues, but it's a lot of money to put down in a month. They've tried that with the Alien build. I don't think it worked very well for them. Lots of people said they would have built it if it was cheaper or out in the newsagents. That sort of tells you as well that it is. But like I said, it is sort of peaking now. I do think we are the golden age of part works. There is so much more still to come. Whether or not that keeps a lot of people interested, I don't know. I hope it does. For me, I think there's still enough on the table for me to keep interested. I'm still doing a lot of part works at the moment, and the interest is still there. Will the interest be there in 5 or 6 years' time for me? I don't know. I hope so, but we never know. You can never tell. But there's that anyway. Look, I've been Kev. Thank you guys for watching. I'll do another roundup show next week, and maybe I'll be discussing what I've watched on TV or seen at the cinema. And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like this video, comment down below. I love all that. All the links are down there as well in the comments. And keep an eye on the socials, and we'll see you at the next video. As always, take it easy, guys.